Hello,
everybody.
and
Welcome to our 3-part series where we're going to help you unpack your goals and help you finally take full control and start to master your life.
Yeah, because the biggest thing I think that we often see is that we have set these really good goals, set these really good intentions, whether that be maybe for a milestone birthday or a new year or, an event that's coming up. But what we don't see is maybe the follow through, but also the consistency post event, post milestone. So for us, we want to show you how you can commit to your goals, not just now, but also forever, the long term.
And I think it's important to understand the first thing when it comes to goal setting is understand that motivation is an emotion, which means motivation can be somewhat fleeting. Almost like a firework, very fleeting. So when it comes to actually starting to understand goal setting, you want to make sure that you're not relying on motivation as the driver to your success. You want to start to look towards discipline and start to build some processes and habits within your life, within your environment to start to move yourself closer towards your goals.
Yeah, and I really wanted to kick it off with this because I love Mitch's mindset and perception, and I guess the way that he explains motivation versus discipline. So that's where we're going to kick it off, motivation versus discipline.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand, I myself am no more motivated than the average person, but what I have been able to craft and to master is a lot of success within my environment. So if we take nutrition, for example, if you put a tub of ice cream in front of me, I'm more than likely to eat it just like anybody else, okay? Because I'm not obviously motivated in that way. But what I do hold is discipline. And the first part of my discipline is how I set my environment. So for me, I know after a busy week at work or a stressful week or whatever emotions I'm feeling, if I'm driven to feed them through food, I'm going to make decisions that aren't aligned to who I want to be. So the first step when it comes to sort of working towards your goals is setting your environment up for your ultimate success. And that's both nutritionally and exercise.
Yeah, and not to rely on that motivation, not to continually think that, I'm just going to wait until I'm motivated. I'm just going to wait until I'm more motivated because I believe in doing things when it is actually tougher conditions, right? Because if you can overcome the barriers or the challenges now when you're not motivated, you're not going to find any reason or excuse not to achieve it in any aspect, right? So I truly believe motivation is so fleeting and relying on it is not going to give you the long-term results that you truly desire. But when we rely more on the habits and the routines and be more consistent and disciplined around those, that's when we're going to start seeing that long-term success.
100%. And when we talk consistency, I think that's a really important thing to touch on real quick is we feel motivated, and what we end up doing is we set the bar really high from an intensity standpoint. I'm going to train every day. I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day. I'm going to track all my food. I'm going to eat in a deficit.
He's speaking from experience.
All these, really challenging things. We're going to implement them all at once, and we're going to do it to the nth degree. So we're going for an all or nothing approach. And what this ends up happening is we know that consistency over a long enough time horizon will always beat intensity. Right? If I do 3 workouts a week, every single week across a whole entire calendar year, I will look like Vic. But if I do a workout every day for 3 weeks and then miss the whole month because I got sick, you're more inclined to look like me.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
Healthy and strong.
But the more important thing is to understand is 3 workouts a week will trump 10 workouts in 14 days if you don't do anything for the other, 48 weeks or whatever remains.
Comes back to that all or nothing approach, right? Really breaking that habit of being either all in or not. We speak, and we'll speak more into later on, not in this series, but in the next series, more around the dial approach, being more consistent with the dial approach.
But I think that's important to understand why motivation doesn't last is because it's very fleeting. As soon as you hit a challenge or a setback, your motivation stops, and then you lose all that momentum you built. So that's why it's really important to rely on discipline, build the habits and processes that are going to allow you to ultimately become the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And we're going to touch on in our part 2 how to start to construct and build these habits and processes.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Any questions, please reply back to us. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.